What's up, Daniel?
How's it going?
Good, man. What state are you in?
In Nebraska. So we just passed some medical marijuana laws in November. Obviously, they don't have any regulations or how anything is going to work yet. It's still all up in the air. So my question is, now if I do a vehicle stop, I go up, I smell marijuana, then you have PC to search the car and everybody in it. Once these medical marijuana laws are in effect and people are legally allowed to have, whatever the amount is on them, how does this affect an officer's PC to search a car?
Good. It's a great question. And so again, we don't have recreational use. We just have medical, right?
Right.
Okay. So the way that other states have handled this, and a lot of states have gone through these growing pains with marijuana, is just the first established whether or not they actually have a medical marijuana, because you have to have identification for the card, right? Medical marijuana card.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the question. And if they don't, if you smell the marijuana, and also I haven't seen the Nebraska law how it's written. Can they actually? And maybe you can tell me. I'd like to know because I do teach a lot in Nebraska. Can they actually possess like a sandwich baggie of marijuana in their purse, or has to be? Go ahead. Do you know?
Yeah, I believe it's actually a fairly significant amount,
Mm-hmm.
um, like 5 grams or something like that of marijuana, which is
Five
you know,
grams is not that. Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. It ain't New Jersey 6 ounces.
well, and it might actually be 5 ounces
It
and
might be
not
five
5 grams.
ounces. Five
Yeah.
grams is probably too small. It might be 5 ounces. But so look, the first thing is you have to know your transport laws, right? Because that's going to make a big difference. Like so, for an example, in California, you can have it in it says that California law says that it just has to be in a sealed container. Well, courts have interpreted sealed to also mean a loose sandwich baggie, even without the zipper. The
Oh,
whatever you call
wow.
that thing. And
Yeah.
so and so that's the first thing. Okay. But the second thing is they do have a burden of proof here. So if you pull them over and you're like, hey, I smell marijuana. Do you have a medical marijuana card? And they say no, well, you have game on, right? That's
Right.
recreational use. But even if they say yes, and they do not prove to you, they don't give you any evidence that they do have a medical marijuana card and you don't have a way to look it up, then I think you have at least probable cause of recreational use. It's like, having a driver's license. If they don't want to prove that they can drive, then you can assume that they're driving illegally. So I guess the point is that if they don't have the medical marijuana proof, then you do things like you've been normally doing.
Okay. Sounds good.
And David's bringing up transport laws. I can tell you that transport laws is a very big deal. You have to know how your law is written. Like, so for example, California is kind of hard, but in Illinois, it has to be in an odor-proof container for recreational use. This is not, they don't, medical, whatever, but for recreational use. So if you can smell raw marijuana emanating from a vehicle in Illinois, even though you can have up to whatever 2 ounces, whatever it is, you can still search the car because it's proof that they're violating the container law. So container laws are also important. But can
Okay.
I tell you one more thing, Daniel? Just tell your
Yep.
friends. The one thing that I have found in my years of experience is that when states first initially start legalizing marijuana, a lot of officers want to do what's called compliance checks. And they'll like, well, yeah, you're legally carrying, yeah, you can have recreational use or you can have medical marijuana, but I want to just make sure you don't have over the certain amount, or I want to make sure it's in the proper container. Negative. A lot of cops, they want to do that because they just want to make sure they're complying with the law. But the answer is you have to have probable cause, not just a hunch or just to want to make certain that people are not violating the law.
So I guess if you smell marijuana, they have proof that they have a card that says I'm allowed to have it. You don't have any legal right to verify the amount that they have on them.
Absolutely not. That's the
Okay.
same thing as seeing a pill bottle in a person's vehicle. Let's say it's narcotics, right? And they're not
Hmm.
DUI, and you're like, hey, I want to search that pill bottle, make sure you're not abusing it, or whatever. You're like you can't, or I want to search your alcohol to make sure your cigarettes, to make sure you paid the taxes, to make sure that these are not black market cigarettes. It's the same concept. You don't have
Right.
the government doesn't have a right to just prove that people are not criminals. Um,
Gotcha.
you have to have PC. If you don't have PC, you're not searching.
Okay.
Yep. Cool.
Thank
Okay,
you.
buddy. You're welcome.